Let's talk compatibility astrology, because it's my most favorite thing to do is my connection reading that I offer. And you can do this reading for anybody. It doesn't just have to be romantic, but I love doing romantic partnerships, especially people who've been together for years, because this is one of the things that I focus on with compatibility is there isn't a good or bad in anything with astrology. There isn't a good or bad. Some things flow more easily, some things are more challenging, but every single placement, aspect, everything in your chart is going to have a journey. It's the same for your compatibility. So whether or not a relationship is going to work is whether or not you're mature enough and willing to work through the challenging aspects of your charts. Are you willing to grow? Are you willing to face the deep trauma and shadow that's going to come up inevitably, especially if you have positions that would be more challenging? Also, relationships with like no challenging aspects. I have never in my life seen one of those last. That's just, you need challenge. You just have to have it. That sounds horrible. So when I do a reading, I'm going to look at your synastry, which is how your charts interact with each other. I'm also going to look at your composite, which is putting your two charts together to see the energy of the relationship as its own entity. I'm also going to look at your birth chart compared to your progress chart, which is how your chart has aged and how much of the lessons from your own chart you've worked through. Same with them. Then we're going to go back and see how those impact your synastry and composite. I know that's a lot of words, but it's very nuanced, and it's basically, I'm going to tell you then, these are all the themes that are going to come up in your relationship. This is how you are going to affect each other. This is how much you've grown in your life. This is what you're going to be able to handle. And do those all align? If they don't align, I might say this probably isn't the best connection for you to go through. And when I say align, I'm not saying, again, there's no challenge. I'm saying, will you be able to handle the challenge, or will they be able to handle it? So for example, a lot of astrologers, if they see in synastry, one person's Venus opposing the other person's Pluto, they'll be like, no, girl, run. I might say the same thing for about 90% of people. But if you're ready to do the deep work around themes around control, detachment, avoidance, anxiety, all of those things within relation, this actually could be really good for you. It will help you work through any trauma you have around these themes. But if you're going to want to get rid of that Pluto person at some point, that's not going to be easy for you, because there can be obsession with this as well, and avoidance. This is often your quintessential like anxious attachment, avoidant attachment relationship, by the way. I know, because I have this with people. But as the Venus person in all of it, it's helping me face my own trauma from not feeling seen, learning how to detach, not becoming completely anxious that everyone's going to leave the moment something goes wrong or they don't act how I expect. It's taking things as information rather than as a threat. So this is actually really good for me, even if it is horribly challenging. And it forces the other person to look at how they run, how they hide, why they use control tactics. What are they so afraid of? So I just want you to be mindful when you're having any sort of compatibility reading done. I've been doing this for 26 years. Something challenging doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It's all about you and the other person, and how are you willing to work together through the challenges, and are you ready for them? And that, honey, is what I do with compatibility readings. If you want one, right here.